Folks, welcome into this fantastic video series, The 7 Financial Blind Spots. I'm Coach Pete, joined with Captain Carl Gill from the Detroit area. Carl, thanks a lot for putting together this series.
You're welcome, sir.
You know what we did? We met about this and we looked at the 7 concerns that people don't realize when it comes to retirement planning.
Right.
Or financial planning in general. And we're going to start with a very basic one. It sounds basic, but it's very important, is having written goals. Now, my wife has written goals for me on the weekends. It's to do yard work, and I try to ignore it. Yeah, and that falls into procrastination. We're going to talk about that later on. But how important is it for everybody out there to have written goals in the financial world?
It's extremely important. My parents were multimillionaires, and they lost it all, primarily because they didn't have a written plan, and they had to start all over. And guess what, folks? They never made it back.
So they were multimillionaires.
Yes, they were.
Wow, and they lost because they didn't have a plan. They had all the money in the wrong places, I guess, right?
Exactly. And they got overconfident. They made some impulsive decisions. They didn't live it up, I wish they had, but they just got in some get rich quick schemes and lost it.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yes,
but they were already rich.
Yes, correct.
You know, that's what I see that happen a lot too, by the way. And studies have shown people with $7 million or more many times still aren't happy, because they have a lump sum, but they don't really have a retirement plan. We're going to talk about that later on here in the series too. But the written goals, is it hard to do? Is that why people don't do it? Or are they intimidated, or are they overconfident?
I think it's a combination. They get overconfident and they get a little intimidated. And especially if they're overconfident, they've made it, and they go, hey, I've got all this money. I'm doing great. I don't have to worry about trying to keep on the straight and narrow road. And then they pretty soon they get off in the ditch, or they end up in the swamp, and they wonder, how did I get there?
You know, a good example of that are pro athletes.
Yes.
You see it all the time. They make multi-millions of dollars, but they don't think they need a plan. That's when you really need a plan.
That's what definitely you need a plan. And having a plan keeps you from getting into the swamps with investments. You're thinking, how did I get here? That's not something that's not guaranteed, or it's too much risk, or and then you end up losing a big chunk. You go, how did that happen?
Is there anything to be intimidated or afraid of in the financial world?
Not if you have a written plan.
Yeah. Folks, the very first step is to get that written plan that Carl's talking about, and you can do that no cost or obligation if you call the number you see on the screen. When we come back, we're going to talk about Social Security. Folks, there's a lot of mistakes made claiming Social Security, and also pension planning, taking those lump sums you have in those 401ks and making sure you have lifetime income.